Welcome back to Channel Nation of Glory. Today, we bring you the story of a man who turned his pain into poetry, his struggles into songs, and his heartbreak into healing. A man whose voice carried the sound of soul, and whose spirit refused to be broken no matter how hard life tried. This is the emotional and inspiring story of Tyrese Darnell Gibson, the boy from the streets of Los Angeles who rose to become one of the most powerful voices in R&B, and one of the most beloved actors in Hollywood. Tyrese Gibson was born on December 30, 1978, in Watts, Los Angeles, a neighborhood known not for its glamour, but for its grit. Growing up there wasn't easy. It was a place where dreams were often crushed before they began. But even as a young boy, Tyrese was different. He could feel the music in everything, in the hum of the streets, in the sound of passing cars, even in the chaos around him. His childhood was filled with challenges. His father left when he was young, leaving his mother, Priscilla Murray Gibson, to raise Tyrese and his siblings alone. She worked tirelessly to keep food on the table, often sacrificing her own comfort just so her children could have a better chance. Tyrese saw her pain, her strength, and her faith, and it became his foundation. He once said, "My mom was my hero before I even knew what a hero was." But life in Watts wasn't just about survival, it was about endurance. Tyrese faced poverty, violence, and a world that seemed determined to forget people like him. He didn't have much, but what he did have was a dream. A dream to make people feel something real. That dream began to take shape in high school. Tyrese would sing in classrooms, hallways, even on the school bus. His voice was raw, soulful, and full of emotion, a gift that couldn't be ignored. His friends encouraged him to chase it, but for Tyrese, dreams always came second to reality. Until one day, fate intervened. A Coca-Cola commercial audition changed his life forever. The casting call asked for someone with a great smile and personality. Tyrese showed up, nervous but determined. When he sang the jingle "Always Coca-Cola," his voice carried something special, something genuine. That one moment became the spark that ignited everything. The commercial aired nationally, and just like that, a star was born. The young man from Watts had gone from singing in school hallways to singing on television screens across America. His talent caught the attention of Arca Records, and in 1998, he signed his first major deal. That same year, he released his debut single, "Nobody Else." It didn't take long for the world to notice. The song climbed the charts, his voice touched hearts, and his charisma made him a fan favorite. Soon after, he dropped his self-titled debut album Tyrese. It was smooth, soulful, and honest, everything that real R&B was meant to be. Songs like "Sweet Lady" became instant classics, and suddenly, Tyrese wasn't just a singer, he was a voice of a generation. But what made Tyrese different wasn't just his voice, it was his soul. Every lyric he sang felt like a story from his own life. Love, loss, faith, struggle, it all poured out through his music. And the fans felt it too. They weren't just listening to songs, they were connecting to his truth. As his music career soared, Hollywood came calling. In 2001, Tyrese made his acting debut in John Singleton's Baby Boy. It was the perfect role, raw, real, and emotional. He played Jody, a young man trying to find his way in a world that expected him to fail. The performance was powerful, authentic, and unforgettable. Tyrese wasn't acting, he was living it. And audiences felt every moment. That film changed everything. Critics praised him, fans embraced him, and Hollywood finally saw what the music world already knew, that Tyrese Gibson was more than talent. He was truth. After Baby Boy, the doors opened wide. In 2003, he joined the cast of Too Fast, Too Furious as Roman Pierce, a role that would make him part of one of the biggest franchises in movie history. With his humor, charm, and realness, he became a fan favorite instantly. Roman wasn't just comic relief, he was heart and energy rolled into one. But behind the laughter and lights, Tyrese's journey wasn't without darkness. Fame brought success, but it also brought pressure and pain. He faced public struggles, personal heartbreak, and moments where the world seemed to misunderstand him. But through it all, he never lost sight of who he was, a man with purpose, passion, and faith. He returned to music with albums that spoke to maturity and emotion. 2000 Watts, "I Wanna Go There," an open invitation, showed a man who had grown, lived, and learned. His song "How You Gonna Act Like That" became an anthem for anyone who ever loved and lost. His voice had evolved deeper, richer, more powerful, but still full of the same emotion that first captured hearts. Then came another massive chapter. His role as Roman Pierce continued in the Fast and Furious franchise, making him part of a global phenomenon. Alongside Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Dwayne Johnson, and Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese became a household name across continents. But amidst the blockbuster success, Tyrese never forgot his roots. He used his fame to speak on real issues about mental health, fatherhood, and the power of faith. He wrote books, gave speeches, and reminded the world that strength comes from vulnerability. In 2015, tragedy struck when his dear friend and co-star Paul Walker passed away. The loss hit him hard. Tyrese was devastated, but he turned that pain into love, honoring Paul's memory with grace, tears, and gratitude. He spoke about how life can change in a heartbeat, and how the best way to honor someone's legacy is to live fully. Through every storm, Tyrese held on to faith. His spirituality became his anchor. He often said, "God is the reason I'm still here." And you could feel that belief in everything he did, from his music to his movies to his message. As the years passed, Tyrese evolved from artist to inspiration. He became a voice for those who struggle in silence, for people trying to rise above pain, loneliness, and doubt. His honesty, whether through interviews or social media, connected deeply with fans. He wasn't afraid to cry, to admit his flaws, or to show the human side of fame. And that's what makes his story so powerful. Tyrese Gibson isn't just a celebrity. He's a survivor. A man who came from nothing and built an empire of emotion, one song and one performance at a time. He's worked with icons like Genuine, Tank, and R. Kelly, forming the R&B supergroup TGT, proving that his voice still stands tall among the greats. His albums continue to inspire, his movies continue to entertain, and his heart continues to lead the way. In recent years, he's also become an entrepreneur and motivational speaker, reminding people that success isn't just about fame, it's about faith, focus, and family. He continues to push boundaries, to create, and to uplift others through his words and example. Tyrese Gibson's life is proof that no matter where you start, you can rise if you never stop believing. From the rough streets of Watts to red carpets and world tours, he carried his pain like armor, and his dreams like fire. And even now, when he sings or smiles, you can still see that little boy from Los Angeles, the one who believed that a voice could change his world. And it did. Tyrese once said, "Don't chase fame. Chase purpose. Fame fades, but purpose lives forever." And that's exactly what he's done. Thank you for watching this emotional and inspiring story of Tyrese Gibson, a man whose voice healed hearts and whose soul inspired millions. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to channel Nation of Glory, where we celebrate the stories that move the world, stories of strength, soul, and the power to rise. Because here, we don't just tell stories, we tell legacies. And Tyrese Gibson's legacy reminds us that no matter how dark the road gets, the music of the soul never stops playing. Microphone, thank you for watching. Stay blessed, stay inspired, and remember, your story isn't over yet.